doing alright? So, I was sort of thinking this. I've been watching. I'll chuck a link onto my Facebook. Can't put them on Instagram, so that's just the way it is at the minute. And if someone knows how you put links on Instagram, is there something you need to? Do you have to have a different account? Do you need? Anyone know? I don't know. Maybe I should look into it, shouldn't I? Maybe. It's trivial. Anyway, so I've been watching. I was watching Joe Rogan, who you should go and watch. He's really good at. Basically, it reminds me of what my mum used to do around the dinner table. Like, she'd chuck out a conversation. More often than not, she'd start it. I'm not saying he does that bit, but then what my mum used to do was play devil's advocate, play the other side of the coin, show the other point of view, which, you know, was her demonstrating to us what she would then later speak on, which was, you know, the wider a perspective you can have, and the more you can put yourself in someone else's shoes in a situation, the more you can grow and wider understand people, you know, and therefore not be an arsehole all the time. Not all the time. So yeah, so Joe Rogan's awesome, and I think he does that really well. He navigates conversations really fucking nicely, and I really like it. Anyway, he had this guy on called is it Eric? It is Eric Weinstein. So fascinating. As soon as he started talking, he'd broken down so many barriers inside himself, and very educated. Had a very, very troubled time with the academic system itself, but he still walked out of there with a degree, which seems really weird and controversial if you go and listen to him. I think it was on the Joe Rogan. I'll post that, and then I'll post a link to his YouTube page, which is, you know, awesome, because this guy is like just so well informed, such a wide thinker. You know, his podcast is called The Portal, right? And the whole point, the whole sort of idea of the portal is it's things that people do that push the boundaries of what we're currently doing, right? Because really, existence is growth and creation, right? It's not about being stagnant. And as soon as you start looking into history and gauging the timelines and the possible timelines, not just the, you know, sort of mainstream academic stance at the moment, right? Because the more I sort of look at history and everything, you know, and it's sort of the history of like as many topics as I can, the more I realise that the academic system takes a while to catch up. You know, I don't know if Göbekli Tepe's in the books yet, but they have, and that's a site in Turkey, right near the Syrian border, which is old Ottoman Empire, I believe. And there's so much interesting stuff in Turkey. There's these underground caves that are like something like 10 stories deep, right? And there's all these pillars, right? They built this underground. Now, modern architects say, like, if these pillars had been like an inch out of line, there'd be cave-ins all over the place after a period of time. I'm pretty sure they said 100% of it is accessible. There's a small voice in me that says it's something like 95%, so there might have been a cave-in somewhere. But there's like 10 fucking stories. And this is in like Turkey. Right, and also, but so anyway, the point I said about Turkey was Göbekli Tepe, which is an ancient megalith site that was buried around 11,000 to 12,000 years ago, which is a time period that is known as the Younger Dryas. So it was like it was in between like Ice Age or something. I'm not the academic, so, but you can look at all of them things and you can find loads of information on it. It's well interesting. But so, looking at like the diversity actually of culture through history. Now, I think I know in England, because this is where I live and this is where I was educated, but I certainly know it appears that in any sort of Western colonial, colonised, everything that's come out of the Roman Empire really, and since then, it's all the same sort of powers, the banking families, the people that are behind the scenes that still have the power, and power always shifts around to some degree, but it doesn't seem like it shifts around that much right up at the top. So but anyway, since then it's really, we've been caught into certain sort of, at least it feels, limited processes, limited thinking, limited question asking, right, and limited education, right? Like if I was taught everything I've taught myself in school, I wouldn't have been kicked out of school. I'd have probably been highly motivated to educate myself, and I'd have definitely come out with some degrees, because my interest would have been sparked by something that wasn't just war and oppression, right? And then just basic bullshit fucking teaching that just is generic, that not many of us even, you know, use school stuff and all of that. Yeah, we read, we write, we talk, we do math, basic math, you know. But so before I lose all my trails of thoughts, but so yeah, the education system taking a while to catch up was the point I made, and then I just went into about why. So stuff's going to need to change before the mainstream changes, is what I was going to allude to, basically, because the main structure we have, and even if it, yeah, people will always change before the system does, if it's people pushed to change, right? Most of the change doesn't really come from the people. It kind of comes from the corporations that actually have human rights. A corporation has human rights. That's some interesting shit that's worth looking into, because, you know, corporations should be held a lot more responsible than they are. They should be held more accountable. You know, I don't give a fuck what is what if impact is impact, right? So if your impact has a negative effect on this planet that some really highly successful and motivated people are wanting to run away from, you know, and I'm like, do you know what, right? Even if the fucking planet was going to like explode, which I don't even know if we could figure that out, and even if we could, I don't think most of us would find out about it. But even if that was the case, I'd still want to die doing like the right thing, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, and right is so perspective, is so open to perspective, right? To me, because there is economic suppression around the world, there's personal suppression around the world, there's a lack in really dealing with historical matters that contribute to the present day in many people's lives in many different ways, and it just feels to me like we're in a time of uber connection. You know, thankfully there are some great people having some great conversations, right? But it needs to be more than successful people that are already acclaimed having these conversations. We need to have them. We need to think about where we are, how we got here. Well, we don't need to. You don't need to do anything. You know, I just feel it would be beneficial for more people to become informed and highly self-aware, right? Not self-observant, but way deeper, you know, it's really truly knowing where all your shit's come. I just can't go into it right now. On this, I like 15 minutes and under, so I'm making a point of something else. But so more awareness, more informed, so that we can start change ourselves, inspire change for younger generations. I know I'm not going to see all the fucking change I want, but I need to see the fucking start of it. I need to see laws changed that make it possible. Not only possible, law, firm law, based on fucking the Magna Carta, based on common law, based on the law of the land, you know, based on the law of the sea, maritime law, which is what they use anyway. They don't use a lot anyway. Laws that say it is imperative that people have the right to land, to live. Right now, that might, you know, in an ideal world, that would be this small little plot of, like, you know, da by da, you can grow that, build a tiny little thing. If your needs are more, then you need to be, you know, putting more in or something. You know, there's many ideologies I could go into, but they're pointless at the moment. Ideology is pointless at the moment. We're not in a place of ideology. We're in a place of growth, hopefully. I'm in a place of growth. Many people who are there's revolutions and rebellions happening fucking all over the world, and there's a reason for that, because the suppressing force, right, that has been sweeping the planet is getting told to fuck off, right? And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying fuck off to oppression, suppression in any way. I don't give a shit. We can do better. I don't accept the old system that worked in the fucking 1700s, 1800s, and like, no, right? We need to localise, not globalise. Global link is awesome. Global governance is detrimental to human free will. Period. Right? One world government, one world rule. One rule works for all. Never. All for one, one for all, always. But one rule works for all, never. It can't happen. We're too different. We need laws and consideration. Laws should only be involved where two forces meet. Right? If it's me in England smoking marijuana, that should be my fucking business, because it's my body. I don't use the health system. I'd rather die than use a government funded system or use private health. I'd rather do that, because fuck them. Right? I should have my sovereign rights. That should not be something that was signed away many years ago. I should have free choice. And I resent the fact that I don't. Now, you can tell me about the vote, but we all, if you look at the governance and the political system and the structure of it, our vote is at the beginning of that structure and at the end of that structure. And in the middle of that structure, where everything's really important, we've got no vote. So democracy is bullshit. I don't even know if like national democracy could even be a thing. I believe it's like the idea, I'm just going to share it, it's a thought. What I think would be great is to have, like, Sussex, right? We're an independent state of the land United Kingdom, right? Now, say that Sussex is pro-green, right? All the laws we tend to pass around here as people would be more green, more beneficial to farmland, more beneficial to coastland, more beneficial to the air and to pollution, more beneficial to healthy education of children and diversity of education. And all of these things, right? But that's Sussex. Maybe Wessex. Wessex was what Sussex used to be. Maybe Essex would have a different way. Maybe more people that populate there have a different way of being. Maybe, and no hate on Essex, because I lived there for a while. I've got no qualms with any area or anything. That's all bullshit to me. Postcodes mean nothing. But for a state of organising people, these things should be done. But anyway, it's just about to go 15 minutes on it on Instagram. So anyway, another time, food for thought. Peace.